Hello and welcome back to my channel. It is currently very cold in my home. I went on holiday to Cyprus, I got nice and warm, I came back and I turned my heating on. I was determined to get to like mid-November before I turn my heating on. It's the start of November at the time of filming this and yeah, it's on. Mainly because of my plants, is what I tell myself. I want my plants to be safe. I want them to be healthy and happy, and when it's too cold, then they're not going to be healthy and happy. So yeah, the heating's on for the plants. It's all for the plants, definitely not me. But anyway, it's cold. I just went on a complete detour there. Hi. Welcome to the video. Today we're unhauling books. I film this video every 3 to 4 months or so. I like to refresh what is on my shelves whenever I can. I accept that my reading tastes have changed a lot in the last like 6 years or so, and there are right and wrong times in my brain to get rid of books, and some books I might have held on to in the last unhaul video that I might now be okay with unhauling. I want to get some more space on my shelves, and I also want to try and start saving a little bit of money for some trips next year. I am horrendous at saving. And in fairness, I am living alone with a mortgage not too far from London, so maybe it's not entirely my fault that I'm bad at saving, but also I'm just really bad at it. So any money I get from the books that I buy, I am going to put in a little pot. You've heard me say it. I'm putting in a little pot, a little digital pot, and I'm going to leave it there for travel for next year. And that's going to be what that is, okay? Hold me accountable through the power of the internet. Anyway, I have a couple of books that I know I want to unhaul in this video, but other than that, we're just going to go with the flow. We're going to see what happens. I'm going to film this over a week so that I don't feel too overwhelmed with picking all the books to unhaul. I hope you enjoy it. Any of the books that I am getting rid of will either be going to friends and family, to charity, or I will be selling on Vinted. I will leave a link down below to my Vinted if you're interested, but I am filming this a little bit far in advance, so I don't know how much will still be on there, but generally anything that's a special edition, anything that I feel like people would be interested enough in buying, I will pop on Vinted, and then anything else, yeah, either gets gifted to friends and family or goes to charity. So, without further ado, let's unhaul some books. Okay, first up on the unhaul pile is One Piece Volume 1 to 4, and then possibly My Hero Academia as well. I'm not 100% sure on My Hero Academia or not because I haven't read that one, but One Piece I have read. I think I read the first 2 or 3 volumes, maybe 3, I can't remember, but I did really enjoy what I read, but I think it's unrealistic of me to think I'm ever going to own all of these, and I don't really want to own all of them either. It's such a huge series, and it's definitely a very big commitment getting into it, and I think I'm not going to own more than this, and I'm okay getting rid of these ones. So these are the first to go. I'm not really sure what to do with this. So this, oh dear, this is volume 3 of Heartstopper, and this is the Fairy Loot Special Edition, but that's also the Fairy Loot Special Edition. There was a printing error in this one, so I've got this, but then I've got the correct one. I don't need this. I just kind of leave it there because it's pretty and it's Alice Osmond, it's Heartstopper, but I don't need this. I just don't really know what to do with it. So I'm gonna look into that, but I think I'm gonna take this one off the shelves because there's no need for this to be there when I have this one. This can definitely go. Am I gonna cause an avalanche? Oh no, hang on. Ooh, why am I doing this one-handed? Okay, it's fine. This can go. I tried reading this, didn't get on with it. Tried watching the show, didn't get on with it. I don't need to keep hold of this. Okay, it's been like a week since I have picked any books off my shelf to unhaul, so we're gonna do this now together. I'm holding myself accountable because I did say this is probably going to be a process over about a week, but I intended to be picking books off my shelf each day of that. But I picked like 3 books off my shelves, which you've seen, and then no more. So we're going to go through and pick off some more and be a little bit more ruthless and also have a little bit more motivation behind actually doing it. I am well aware that every time I do a video like this, I come to these shelves and I'm like, well, these shelves are the shelves with most of my favourite books on them. That is just not the case anymore. I think this is just, maybe I need to rearrange. To be honest, I actually don't want these bookshelves anymore. I want brown bookshelves because, like, look at the colour of this kind of furniture. It's all a walnut brown colour, and yet these are white. It doesn't work, but when I moved in to start with, I was like, I'm going to put white furniture everywhere, and now I don't really want the white furniture. So I think one day, maybe, one day in the future, I might get the courage to redo this section. The thing that's off-putting is this TV bench is literally perfect. Like, there isn't a better TV bench I can find to this day that has what I need from it. And I don't want to feel I have to get rid of the TV bench and get a different one that isn't quite as perfect because that one's white. Whereas, you know, I would want, if I change the shelves, to be a brown walnutty kind of colour, or even just like the IKEA brown walnut colour. I think I would still want a different TV unit. And, you know, this is not happening. This is not happening. This, anytime I think about it, I'm like, no, it's too much work. But, you know, if I moved in again and I did it all over again, I wouldn't get white. But yeah, I know I could maybe change the colour of this myself, but again, that is a lot. That there is no space to do that here, so I would have to transport it somewhere else. And I'm just mumbling to myself at this point. Anyway, the point being, I always come to these shelves and say that I'm not going to remove anything from them pretty much because these are like my staple shelves. But I think that they need a rearrange because they have been like this since I moved in. Like, especially this section. This has not changed. And I just don't feel like it's a true reflection of my reading taste so much anymore. I like these shelves. I think these are giving a bit of variety. Well, actually, quite a lot of variety. There's lots of different genres thrown on these shelves. So, like, these kind of ones are pretty safe. But then I'm sure that there's a couple of books dotted around here that can probably go. In fact, here's 3 that I know are going. And these are biggies, okay? These ones I've been holding on to for a very long time because I think they're beautiful. But I think it's time. I think it's time. And that is my Fairy Loot David Bard trilogy. Oh, I keep going back and forth on this series. I really do, as to whether I want to sell it or not. But I think it might be time. Okay. Oh, I think it might be time. I don't really know what I'm going to fill in the gap that those books are going to leave, because that's like my only remaining like display shelf really that has more of a prettiness about it than a function, because I know I could fit a lot more books on those shelves, or that one shelf. So I'll do a little bit of rejig. That'll probably inspire a little bit more of the rejig from the main shelves, to be honest. So it's only a good thing. I'm still not 100% on whether I'll get rid of them or not. But you'll find out at the end of the video. I'm going to leave them on the shelves until I come to list them for sale, because then it's another day's Beth's problem to have to rearrange the shelves. My cheeks are getting really rosy. I don't know why. Okay, some of the books down here, I know this one can go. This was one I read for cover to cover a couple of months ago, and I didn't enjoy it, so that one can definitely go. It's so tricky, because I know that my reading tastes change so often, but then that means they could change back to something that they previously were. So I don't want to be too ruthless. I'm pretty sure I said I needed to be ruthless though, didn't I, in this video? I don't know. We're getting there. Okay, I remember starting this one and then not going any further than like a few chapters. 4 friends have a pact to meet up on the same day every year in their small hometown in southern Italy. Oh, see, southern Italy, that's an appealing setting to me. Art, the charismatic leader of the group, has always been adamant about the pact, but this year he doesn't show up. Searching for him, his friends make a worrying discovery. Art has been farming marijuana, a very dangerous activity in mafia-controlled country. Asking around in town, they hear bizarre and incredible rumours that Art cured a girl of leukemia. And then amongst the chaos of this house, they find a curious manuscript written by Art called The Book of Hidden Things, which promises to reveal secrets enchanting as flames and just as treacherous. Okay, that sounds really cool. Why have I not read that? It's got a gift aid sticker on the back of it, so I think I got that from a charity shop. Why have I not read that one? Okay, sorry, I was like, yeah, that can go. No, it can't. Doing really well so far on these shelves. I'm like, yeah, I'll totally be able to get rid of books on these shelves. No. I think it's literally just hot milk on these shelves. Why am I so red? What is happening? One day it is going to be time for the Lunar Chronicles series to be unhauled from my shelves, but the nostalgia those books hold at the moment is too great for me, so for now they remain. What else have I got? Miss Peregrine's. Again, I keep keeping those ones, and I, again, don't really know why. I think that's another nostalgia kick for me. I'm not doing so well with this, am I? I need to be more strict. Okay, I think possibly some of my book box ones maybe can go. We've got The God and the Gamiho. I don't know that I'm ever going to get to this one. I'll have a look properly, but let's get them off the shelves. And then To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods. Again, I'll have a look at that one properly. I need to kind of look at the plots of these, really, because I think I've forgotten them. This shelf is my shame shelf, because nothing like aligns. I don't know what has happened here, but I don't like the way the shelf looks, so if I could rejig this a bit, that would be great. I've been semi-successful. One of these books is going on the unhaul pile, however, To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods is going back on my shelf. I read a little bit, well, I read the blurbs of each and some of the reviews and things, and I think that To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods looks more my kind of thing. It's a little bit more about the political side of things and about the power, whereas The God and the Gamiho is more about the romance side of the story, which I don't find quite as appealing, so this one is going to go on the unhaul pile, and this is going back on my shelves. Alright, I am very convinced that there are going to be books here that I can pull off, especially on these two shelves. I think. I hope. This shelf is stacked way too close together. I have no idea what this one's about, but I don't know if it's so much my kind of thing. It looks like it's very ingrained in the romance. I'm going to have a look at this one. We'll have a look. We'll see what I think. I also... This one... Is this set in South Korea? Yeah, the South Korea set. You can't even see this. Sorry, I'm trying to do it one-handed. This one, it's set in South Korea, and I would enjoy reading about somewhere I've been, but I don't know if that's so much my thing anymore either. I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to put that one on my shelves, keep it on my shelves rather, and then if I don't read that within like a few months, then by the next unhaul, maybe I'll get rid of that one. Okay, I thought there would be more books on these shelves. Oh dear. Maybe this one? Oh my god, this shelf's even more tightly packed. Hang on. Okay, maybe Girl Serpent Thorn. Can't really remember what this one's about as well. I haven't deliberately picked two pink covered books, but I'm going to have a look at both of those ones and decide. Okay, just had a look at the blurbs for both of those, and I think they can definitely go on the unhaul pile, so that feels semi-productive. Okay, this section in here is also where my mess of art supplies sits, but I think this one can go. I read it, it was cute, I liked it, but I don't feel the need to keep hold of it. I don't think anything else from these shelves can go. Do you know what? Who even knows what's down there anymore? I couldn't tell you. There's candles in there, I think. Is there? Yeah, there's actually loads of candles. Wow. I am so startlingly aware that I need to do like a huge clear out in my flat. Not just like a spring clean vibe clear out. I know it's not spring, but you know, not just that kind of clear out, like a proper clear out. I decided when I got back from doing my food shop today that I would start to clear out one of the cupboards, and went through all the food that was in there that had been in there since the start of time. It was stuff like nut bars and things, so it was fine, but I needed to do that, and I just randomly decided to give it a go. I think maybe if I tried to tackle one small thing every week or something, then I could maybe not be so daunted by it, but Jesus Christ, I have so much crap everywhere. I like having things around my home that tell a story and add to it being my home, but there is stuff like down there. I don't even know. I don't know what's down there anymore. Just suddenly thought this one off of the main shelves can go as well, because I have actually read this one now. This is another case of I've read it, I enjoyed it, but I don't think I'm going to need to read it again, and I don't feel the need to own a copy, so that can go on the unhaul pile. Okay, you know what? Maybe I was being a bit unfair to myself. That's actually a semi-decent stack. Because I do unhauls fairly regularly, I never have like absolutely huge unhaul stacks. Anyway, whatever. This is the stack so far. I have removed these from the shelves so we could see what they look like in the stack. I am now kind of tempted to do a little bit of a bookshelf rejig just on that top section now that I've taken these off, so you know, maybe we'll do that. Hello. So this is what we're dealing with. We have a gap here. We have a series here that I might move and put them there and stack them like that way. They're currently stacked up instead, just to have them as like a normal bookshelf stacked thing, and then just keep that as it is, because I like having those face out like that. I like having the award in the middle there as well, but I think I could do better with this shelf space. Okay, I'm going to talk you through my thinking. I don't actually love having those books like that whilst that is still out like that, and I do want that to stay like that. So I wonder if I shift that about, maybe put those books back where they were, and then possibly take some of the books from here, because I've got like my Song of Achilles, my Circe books. I've got some really nice special edition Madeline Miller books down there that could go up there, and that would still give me more space because those books are more than the books that I took off there. What are words? I took off 3 chunky books that was there, whereas this would be freeing up space from like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books. I mean, arguably maybe it's taking up the same amount of space because they're thinner, but whatever. It's girl math. It makes sense in my head, so I'm just going to try that out. If you are wondering what this series is that I keep moving about, it's the Fallen Kingdom series by Morgan Rhodes. It's a fantasy series. It's brilliant. It's really fun, and I really enjoyed it. I'm just realising it's not 6 books, it's 5, because the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo always looks the same as the Madeline Miller Illumicrate books, so it's actually these ones here, but I don't feel like that could still work. This is not, I don't know what I want this to look like, but it's not this. Nope. I actually don't hate that. I think that that might work for now, unless I decide another way around that I want to arrange it. Okay, now it's the question of where these books go, because I just freed up the space that they were occupying and put that there instead, and I could just rejig that back to where it was. I mean, that's probably the most logical thing to do, isn't it? But I also now have this space free, so I need to figure out what goes there. This is not what I signed on for. This was meant to be an unhaul video. What have I done? The problem I have with filling this space is this is one of my favourite shelves. I don't just want to put anything here. I want to put something here that fits with the shelf, which is going to require more rearranging, so the Fallen Kingdom series will not fit here, and I don't really want to put that there either. I'm looking at my other shelves and seeing what I could move about. Why have I started this? Okay, don't judge me, but I am literally just putting this series back where it was. I have somehow freed up more space still though, so it's not been a complete failure. Note the gap on this shelf. That means, with again using girl math, I can buy another book to fit in that gap. I'm pretty sure that that is the rule. So I ended up moving my Erin Morgenstern books down to this shelf. This is a mix of books that I've read and haven't read, so it's not strictly like books that I've read and have considered favourites. It's just, it makes sense in my head what this shelf is, but I can't articulate it. So I think these fit the best, and yeah, there's room for another book. Don't worry, I'm going to shift that along so that won't be in the middle of the shelf, but I do want to keep Yellow Face right in the middle because I just think that looks cool having that directly in the middle of the shelf. So I'll do a little bit of a rejig, but I think that I'm fairly happy. I mean, especially, you know, this looks so different. I need to, again, rejig that a little bit. I don't know how I've managed to create this much extra shelf space from removing those. I mean, yeah, alright, they did take up a fairly chonky amount of space for the 5 of them, and obviously I moved the Natalie Haynes over as well from that shelf over there, but I feel like, I don't know how this has happened. I'm gonna once again blame it on girl math. I was just about to be like, right, I think that will be the end of the video because I've pulled all the books off my shelf that I want to unhaul. We've rearranged my bookshelves, which I am very aware, like 30 minutes ago in real life time, but like minutes ago in vlog time, I was like, oh, that's a problem for another day's Beth, and then I just made it my problem now. But then I remembered that I haven't actually been in my office yet, so I think we're going to do that another day because I have a couple of other bits that I have to do today, and I know if I go into my office I'm probably just going to start rearranging things more, so we're going to do that another day. But so far I think we've made fairly decent progress. Things that weren't even meant to be achieved today have been achieved, so it's a win. Hello, my name is Beth, and over the last few years I have amassed what has now become an overflowing horror book collection. So today we're tackling my office, the last room for the unhaul. I am terrible at removing books from these shelves because these shelves are the newest shelves. They're a bit more freshly curated, and they're the shelves I add to the most. But if I could remove 3 to 4 books off these shelves, that may not sound a lot, but I feel like that would make a difference, just to be able to slot more books in and not have them like stacked ridiculously high like they are here. So Let's give that a go. Okay, this first section here is pretty safe. This is all my dark academia books. They're special editions, generally books that I think I want to keep on this shelf, and the same with these ones over here. These are also dark academia, but some hardback, some paperback, but I think generally these two shelves are pretty safe. These two shelves are safe-ish. I think it's going to be more the bottom two that I can pull more off of. However, looking at this, I think Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury can come off of these shelves. Of course, it's the one on the bottom of this huge stack, but I have read this. I didn't particularly enjoy it, and I don't think I need to hold on to it anymore, and I just need to make room where I can with these shelves, so I think that one can come off. And I think that might be the only one of these ones. I think this whole section here, like this and the one above, is one of my favourites, so I don't want to change these ones too much. But yeah, the bottom two rows, or the bottom two shelves, are going to hopefully have a couple more I can take off. I am already regretting my decision. Okay. Okay, that was fine. Now I have a lunch. Okay, these shelves are a bit of a mixed bag. On the right, it's kind of more witchy / slightly horror. I don't really know what the slashes are there, to be honest, but there's a couple of different genres around those shelves, and I think all I want to keep... Oh, hang on a sec. Let's have a look at this one. I think this one can go. This is The Witch Haven by Sasha Paynton Smith. I didn't actually know I own this one, so I think that probably says enough. And that means that I can put this in here somewhere. I actually don't want this on this shelf because it's definitely a horror and the vibe of this shelf is mixed, but for now... Oh no! Oops, that sounded a lot worse than it was. It's fine, it's all fine. Okay, that's remotely better. Right, the ones over here, I think are relatively okay to stay. What have we got? A lot of these ones are actually TBR books for me, to be honest. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. I think these ones can stay. So we'll go on to the bottom two shelves. I have no idea what I would categorise this shelf as. It's a lot of pink spined books. I don't know if that was my original thinking when I put it together. It's a real mixed bag. Some of these I've read, some of them I haven't. I think all of them I do want to keep. I need to go through these. I need to pick books off of the shelves I don't go to as much more often, because I feel like I don't pick enough books to read off of these bottom shelves. I don't look at the bottom shelves enough to pick these books, which I should, because they're still books that I really want to read. So I think we'll tentatively say that these ones are safe, and we will turn our eyes to these ones. Okay, this section is kind of thriller with a couple of, well, I was going to say a couple of horrors. I think there's like one horror I can see in here, which I'm actually quite pleased to see, and that is Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. So I thought I had this book. I looked for it and I couldn't find it. So I came to the conclusion that I must not have this book, but I recently read Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Tingle and I really enjoyed it, and I've been recommended this one a lot. So I'm glad I didn't buy it, because clearly I did have it, I just couldn't see it. So this is why I need to do this, because my books are getting lost in a sea of more books. And I love having loads of books, and I really appreciate being able to have loads of books. Like, the goal for me is to have a big collection, a library that I can always pick from depending on what I'm in the mood for, and I definitely think I have got that. So yeah, I'm happy to have lots of books. I think I need to organise them a little bit better, because in recent years I've just kind of built on what's already here rather than adapting it to what it needs to be moving forward. Anyway, okay, what can we get rid of here? I think maybe this, the Sundown Motel. I started this. Ooh, come on. Started this. I bought it last year and I just didn't really feel that gripped by it. I'm gonna look at some reviews for this one. Something's making a noise off camera. What is that? Oh, I think things are falling over. Anyway, I'm gonna look at the reviews for this one first, but I wasn't grabbed by what I read so far, so I think maybe that one can go. There's so many of these I really want to read. I really want to read this. This is a mixed media, Murder in the Family. I've heard really good things about that. Do I need to keep this? Is it the special edition? Hang on. Not the special edition, is signed. I do have other Lucy Foley books. In fact, I don't know why this is in here. This should be with the other Lucy Foley books. So actually, I'm going to move this to another room because that'll free up the space. I actually think I can clear both of these out of this space. I don't think they need to be here. I think I can find other places for them. Okay, that's kind of freed up some space without needing to unhaul anything. I know that's the point of this video, but yeah, we freed up a little bit more space, but onto the bottom shelves where I feel like I might have some more to be able to get rid of. Okay, I think there are quite a few I could get rid of here. This is the thing, when you have books on the bottom shelf, by the very nature of them being on the bottom shelf, you just don't see them as often, so you don't pick from them as often. So I think that there's probably quite a few in this section that I can get rid of. A lot of these are YA as well, and I just don't read as much YA anymore, so I'm going to pull a couple off, and then I'll show you what I've got. Okay, I think I've actually done a better job than I anticipated here. I've tried to be a little bit more ruthless. These I'm getting rid of either because I've read them and I don't feel like I'm going to read them again and I don't need to hold on to them, or I've had them for a long time, I've never got to them, and I just feel like someone else would enjoy them more. So we have got Witches Steeped in Gold, The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter, The Vine Witch, Emily Noble's Disgrace, Allegedly, Monday's Not Coming, Changeling, Dark and Shallow Lies, Neverweld Wake, Harrow Lake, and Stags. That's better than I thought I was going to do. That's a lot better. And it's definitely helped tidy the shelves up quite considerably. Okay, it probably doesn't look all that different, but it definitely feels like it's made a difference. This area and this area are a lot less crowded. And then basically I took books from this shelf and this shelf that I'd already read, and I put them on this shelf, exchanging them for the books that I hadn't read that I kept forgetting about because they were down there. So I've kind of rejigged a little bit there, rejigged this shelf down here. Generally there's just a little bit more space. I mean, not much space, but it works a little bit better until the next unhaul. And finally, these shelves. There might be one or two I can pull off of these shelves, but I feel like these ones, again, are fairly staple shelves, like especially this section specifically. This is where I keep some of my non-fiction on these shelves, and then down at the bottom here. So I feel like, yeah, a lot of these are probably going to stay, but I'm going to try and pull a couple off. Okay, I always struggle on these shelves because a lot of them are my books, that's a tongue twister, books, oh no, I said it right the first time, books, and they're pretty, and I don't want to get rid of them, but I have pulled these three off. So we've got We All Fall Down, The Night Ends with Fire, and Of Jade and Dragons. I actually don't think I did that bad with this unhaul. I didn't think I was going to get this many books. This is 33 books. I thought it was probably going to come out with maybe about 15 to 20, but I think it's been pretty successful. So just as a recap, we've got We All Fall Down, The Night Ends with Fire, Of Jade and Dragons, The God and the Gamiho, Girl Serpent Thorn, The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy. I can't see what's down there. Can you see it with the camera? Those ones. A Spindle Splintered, The Kingdom of Copper, The Empire of Gold, The City of Brass, Heartstopper, which I still don't know what to do with that because that's like a misprint one, but I'll work that out. Apples Never Fall, My Hero Academia, One Piece Volumes 1 to 4, The Witch Haven, Witches Steeped in Gold, The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter, The Vine Witch, Emily Noble's Disgrace, Allegedly, Monday's Not Coming, Changeling, Dark and Shallow Lies, Neverweld Wake, Harrow Lake, Stags, The Sundown Motel, and Something Wicked This Way Comes. Okay, that brings us to the end of the unhaul vlog. You are currently balanced on the stack of unhauled books, which is working quite well as a tripod. I am glad that I managed to unhaul so many books, and I'm also glad that I managed to give my bookshelves a little bit of a mini refresh. It felt like it was needed. As I said at the start of this video, I will be listing some of these books on my Vinted, but as I'm filming this in advance, and depending on when I get my arse in gear to actually upload the books to Vinted, I don't know what's still going to be available, but I will leave a link down below if you want to check that out and see what is still up for grabs. I do upload books intermittently throughout the year as well. It isn't just when I've done a big unhaul. I might just pull books off my shelves every now and again and list them on Vinted, so it's always worth having a look if there's anything you fancy. But thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.